Hello, welcome back to Blue Harvest Vintage Toys. And on today's video I'm going to be talking about the Argos Catalogue. When the comedian Alan Carr chose the Argos Catalogue in his book choice on Desert Island Discs, his decision seemingly chimed in with a great number of people. "At least there's pictures," he quoted as saying. "I feel it would help me through." The reason his less than conventional decision made so much sense to so many was because the weighted catalogue makes it into a surprisingly comforting read. For its initial publication in the early 70s until its effectively cancellation last summer, the retail Bible defined the build-up to Christmas, birthdays, and any other occasions where there was a chance of toys. If you spent your childhood in this period of publication, you're likely to spend at least a few afternoons leafing through its pages, dreamy-eyed about the toys that might soon be yours. The Argos Catalogue is affectionately known as a Book of Dreams for good reasons. Looking back though, old archives of the iconic volume, it's strikingly apparent how well it serves as a recent history of toys and play. In fact, the first two pages spread for the youngsters in the debut Argos Catalogue, dated 1973 to 1974, is like a photo shoot of designing toy brands of the time. Matchbox, Merit, Action Man, Palatoy and Pedigree all star, as does the familiar system of numbering images that match curt descriptions that each left ample room for imagination to fill in the gaps. Over the following pages of that same issue, Hornby, Skeletrick, Tonka, Corgi, Airfix, Revel, Reeves and Parker all jostle for attention. In just a few pages of vanishingly thin paper, all that is classic toys in the era is captured, right down to the prices, marketing outlines and details that whisper at the wider cultural, social, political and economical context of the time. In the first catalogue, for example, it appears toys are so commonly manufactured in the UK and Ireland that it is assumed. Only items made overseas were marked as such, and there were very few in number. Argos catalogues were not just about toys, of course. Like a primitive prelude to Amazon in the early 1970s, they felt like they contained just about everything. And in doing so, they captured every year in terms of its fashion trends, interior design fads, contemporary technology, popular activities and pastimes, and much more besides. A few pages beyond the toys of the 1973-4 edition, for example, you'll find a fascinating glimpse into parenting young children at the time, when things like wireless video baby monitors were far from every day, and more basic tools got people by. Back on the toy pages, you can also look across several catalogue editions to track trends and developments in everything from how toys were made to the things that most interested children at the time. In the first issue, for example, there are but a handful of toys based on the likes of film, TV and book properties. Rupert Bear is present, along with the characters from Magic Roundabout and Tom and Jerry. But there is very little more than that. Fast forward to the 1977 summer issue, and as well as the Toy Focus pages jumping from count to 11 to 23, suddenly they are plump with signs that marketing of playthings had found a surefire way to sell more than toys. Star Trek, Disney, Kermit the Frog, Spider-Man, Batman, Space 1999, Doctor Who, and even Morecambe and Wise get a generous share of the available column inches. Notably, while the Star Wars film arrived in 1977, related toys did not appear until the second of Argos' 1979 catalogues. A hint perhaps that the machinery of retail took a little while to respond to the cultural phenomena at the time. And as much as the Argos Book of Dreams speaks to how toys and interest in play shifts with the passage of time, so it serves as a reminder what does not change. Just as it was in 1973, the last ever full Argos catalogue from 2020, plenty of attention is given to working vehicles, childcare themed items, tool sets and play weaponry. A reminder that a core function of toys and childhood itself has remained the same for the decades, if not hundreds of years. Playing with toys is a practice run at adulthood. Certainly, there are toys that offer a blank canvas for the imagination, such as building blocks and drawing contraptions, and there's always been toys that set in fantastical realms, but so often, even the toys are about getting youngsters to explore roles, tasks, tastes, skills and themes that might define their futures. Ultimately then, Argos catalogues are valuable volumes of recent history, a peephole into 48 years of ordinary life across the UK and Ireland. As such, that means Argos catalogues themselves have become rather valuable as collectibles in their own right. Today, an original 1973 for Argos catalogue will cost you around £80 to £160. Many more from the 1970s and early 80s are commonly found sold in the £40 to £65 range. Some of that value, however, may come from the fact that while they are well printed in vast quantities, many are well thumbed to the point of oblivion by hopeful and overexcited children, eagerly tearing back and forth through the toy pages. Alternatively, a collector at the website retromash.com has uploaded scans of every page of each issue from the first through to 1991, and several specials after. It's a resource very much worth a browse. But if you do consider putting down a three-figure sum on a single classic Argos catalogue, you might want to double check with the seller what kind of condition the toy section is in. And if you still have a 2020 copy, which included over 240 pages of toys and games, marking a huge ramp up for the issue of 48 years previously, you may want to look after it. Though save the laminate for the in-store copies. Indeed, if you can get yourself one of the iconic versions that were displayed in ring-bound form in store, you may have secured the ultimate Argos collectible. Just be sure to display it with a small stack of stubby Argos pencils and perhaps a pad of forms customers would take to the counter before sitting down for what could feel like the longest wait in retail. So what is the ultimate Argos toy? To many of us, thinking the Argos catalogue will bring up visions of very specific toys. The most powerful memories of all might be the toys on offer that we never received as youngsters, memories that might also motivate adult toy collectors to purchase what once was just a dream. But what were the defining Argos toys? The answer to that question is very subjective and will likely vary depending on which individuals read the catalogue as youngsters. One nostalgic action man is another's Tamagotchi. Yet, there is a certain kind of toy that many of us will associate with the Argos catalogues, in particular, oddities that didn't fit into any other toy category, by which I mean the curious preparer of ice drinks, namely Mr. Frosty, Tommy's turning turbo dashboard, driving simulator, or the dollhouse shaped like a beverage dispenser that was a big yellow teapot, and its Fisher-Price cousin, the Family Tree house set. You might have different choices, but for some reason, it's a less readily classified toys and games the Argos catalogue, its magical appeal, and thus defining its toy pages. I hope you liked that look back on the Argos catalogue. Thank you to Collectors Gazette for that article. It's something I had to share with you. I hope you liked it. So come on, let me know, what was your favourite toy from the Argos catalogue, or any catalogue? And do you have any of these catalogues? Let me know in the comments below and we can start a discussion. It's something I really like to talk about, and maybe in future videos we can look at other catalogues. So until then, thank you for watching, and may the toys be with you.